Welcome to session 1 of polynomials, which is the second chapter is in class 10th math syllabus. Now let's look at what are polynomials, which we have already learned in your class 9. Polynomial is an algebraic expression of the form p of x equal to a naught x raised to n plus a 1 x raised to n minus 1 plus a2 x raised to n minus 2 plus so on plus a n minus 1 x raised x plus a, where this a naught, a1, a2 up to an are real numbers. A naught is not equal to 0 and n is a non-negative integer. Then this is a polynomial in variable x. Okay. Then we have learned about some of the examples also. Now when any polynomial is of this form. So what are the examples of a polynomial? Say maybe 3x square plus 4x minus 2 is a polynomial in x. Yes, because where the variable is x. Like that we can give on many examples. Like it may be say minus 4x raised to 4 minus 3x square is a polynomial in x. That is, this p of x is equal to this one, and here again this p of x is equal to this, where this is a polynomial in variable x. Similarly, if suppose we consider root x plus 4, p of x is equal to root x plus 4. Is this a polynomial? Look carefully. This is not a polynomial. Why this is not a polynomial? Look at the power of this x. This root x is written as x. Root x is nothing but x raised to 1 by 2. We have said how we have defined a polynomial. We have defined a polynomial that the power of them, this n, what is the n condition? You see, n is non-negative integer. Non-negative. It is non-negative, agree, but is it an integer? 1 by 2 is not an integer. Therefore, root x plus 4 is not a polynomial. Similarly, may say maybe 1 by x. 1 by x, is it a polynomial? 1 by x, how can we write this? This is nothing but x raised to minus 1. So this minus 1, it is not minus 1, it is non-negative integer. Is it a non-negative integer? No, it is a negative integer. Therefore, this is also not a polynomial. Clear? Definition of a polynomial, then the examples. Then now you have also learned the degree of the polynomial also. What is the degree of a given polynomial? It is the highest power of the variable. For example, this is the polynomial we have taken, then its degree is 2. It is the highest power of the variable. Variable in this case is x, its highest power is 2, therefore the degree of this polynomial is 2. What about the degree of this polynomial? It is 4. Right? Based on the degrees of the polynomial, some polynomials have been classified. How are they classified? Degrees of the based on the degrees of the polynomial. Those are, if suppose if the polynomial is having degree 0, then what type of polynomial it is? It is called as a constant polynomial. Right? Constant polynomial. Constant polynomial, the one whose degree is, if the degree is 0, then it is a constant polynomial. For example, a constant number, say 3, minus 4, minus 6, all these are the constant polynomials. Now, if degree is 1, then what type of polynomial it is? It is linear polynomial. If the degree of the polynomial is 1, then it is the linear polynomial. What is the standard form of it? P of x is equal to ax plus b, where a not equal to b. Then example for the linear polynomial may be 3x plus 4, 5y plus 3, or minus 5y plus 3. All these are the examples of linear polynomial. If the degree is 2, if a polynomial has degree 2, then it is called as a what? It is called as a quadratic polynomial. What is the standard form of this quadratic polynomial? P of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c is the standard form of a quadratic polynomial, whose degree is 2. For example, P of x is equal to 3x square minus 4x plus 2 is one such example. Like that we can give plenty. Now, if the degree of the polynomial is 3, then what it is called? Then it is called as the cubic polynomial. Right? Standard form of cubic polynomial, P of x is equal to a x cube plus b x square plus cx plus d. Right? Then example you can give it as like say maybe it is like minus 4x cube plus 4x square minus 3x minus 10. Right? Now if the degree of a polynomial is 4, then it is biquadratic. By the is 4. If the degree of the polynomial is 4, if degree is 4, then it is called as biquadratic polynomial. Right? Then its standard form will be P of x is equal to ax raised to 4 plus bx cube plus cx square plus dx plus e. Right? Now these are the things which we have learned. Now even we have learned the value of a next one, value of a polynomial. Value of a polynomial. So how do you define this value of a polynomial? If P of x is a polynomial in x and k is a real number, then the value obtained by replacing x, okay, with k in P of x is called the value of the polynomial. That is, if P of x is a polynomial in x and k is any real number, then value obtained by replacing x by k. Replacing x by k is called the value of the polynomial, or that one is the value of that particular polynomial. I'll repeat it, just see. Value of a polynomial means if P of x is a polynomial and k is any real number, if the value which is obtained by replacing x by k in that polynomial, then that value what you are getting is known as the value of the polynomial. Like for example, suppose if I consider P of x equal to say 3x square minus 4x minus 4. Okay, then and k is any real number. We will find out the value of this polynomial at x equal to say 2. Okay, then so that x equal to 2, here 2 acts as k as per the definition. Therefore, we will replace x by 2. Therefore, P of 2 is equal to 3 into wherever x is there, you replace it by 2 minus 4 into 2 minus 4. If you simplify 3 into 4 minus 8 minus 4 This is how much? 12 minus 8 minus 4 is also 12. This is coming to be 0. The value of this polynomial at x is equal to 2 is 0. Now the same polynomial, if I consider at x is equal to 1, at x is equal to 1, what value I will get? P of x is equal to 3 into 1 square minus 4 into 1 minus 4. That is 3 minus 4 minus 4, right? So 3 minus 8, that is minus 5. Followed. The value of a given polynomial, that is 3x square minus 4x minus 4, depends upon what x is. At x is equal to 2, it is 0. At x is equal to 1, it is minus 5. This minus 5 is the value of the polynomial at x is equal to 1. Okay. Next, coming to the zeros of the polynomial. How do you define the zero of a polynomial? That value of a polynomial for which that value of x for which the polynomial becomes 0. That value of x for which the polynomial becomes 0. Now, just look at this example where we have considered p of x is equal to 3x square minus 4x minus 4. This is a polynomial. Now, we have taken at x equal to 2. We have done the simplification. We have got the value of the polynomial is 0. Yes. So, that value of the x, that value of x for which the polynomial becomes 0 is the 0 of the polynomial. Okay. In other words, how do we define it? If p of x is a polynomial, then k is said to be the 0 of the polynomial if p of k equal to 0. Okay. That is how we have defined the 0 of the polynomial. Right. 0 of a polynomial. Zero of a polynomial. It is that value of k for which p of k becomes 0. That is a real number. How do you define it? A real number. A real number k is said to be the 0 of polynomial p of x if p of k is equal to 0. If p of k is equal to 0. Okay, that value for which it is, like for example, once again if you take, if it is x square minus 3x minus 4. Now, if we substitute, this is p of x equal to this one. Now, at x equal to 1, just minus 1, we will find out the value of it. So, p of x at minus 1. So, p of minus 1 is equal to minus 1 whole square minus, substitute wherever x is there, you substitute it with minus 1. So, this is 1 plus 3 minus 4. So, 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 minus 4 is 0. So, for this polynomial p of x equal to x square minus 3x minus 4, the 0 of that polynomial is minus 1. Because at minus 1, p of minus 1 becomes 0. Okay. Next. Now, if this is the value of a polynomial you have learned, then we will learn, you have also learned the 0 of a polynomial. In class 9, just we have recalled all those things now. Moving on to the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients, or before that, just we will see the geometrical meaning of zeros of the polynomial. Okay, geometrical meaning of zeros of a polynomial. Okay, if you consider a linear polynomial. If a linear polynomial is in the standard form of the linear polynomial is p of x is equal to ax plus b. Now, this is now, if you draw the graph of it, that is y is equal to ax plus b. If you draw the graph, then the linear polynomial graph is a straight line, we know that, and it cuts the, it intersects the x-axis at exactly one point, right? Now, since it is a linear polynomial, the graph of it may look like this, or it may be the other way. It depends upon the equation or the equation of what they have given to you. So the graph may look like this then. So it will intersect the x-axis exactly at one point. That has to be noted. That is, say that point is K. Then ax plus b is equal to 0 if you take, then x is equal to minus b by a. The point at which it intersects the x-axis is minus b by a. Right? Therefore, so how do you define? What is the geometrical meaning of this 0 of the polynomial? Geometrical meaning is, right, therefore, geometrically, the linear polynomial ax plus b, where a not equal to 0 has exactly 1 0, that is minus b by a, which is x coordinate of the point where its graph meets x-axis. Look here carefully. What is the geometrical meaning of a linear polynomial? Geometrical meaning is that geometrically the linear polynomial ax plus b, where a not equal to 0 has exactly 1 0. Which is that 0? That 0 is minus b by a, which is x coordinate of the point where its graph meets the x-axis. That means if I am taking, this is the plot, if I am plotting this, if I am getting a linear equation, if I am plotting the graph, that linear equation's graph is like this, then this point is the 0 of that given linear equation, which intersects linear polynomial, which intersects the x-axis at minus b by a. That means if you look at the graph, exactly at one point it will intersect. That is, the linear polynomial has exactly one solution. That solution is what? It is that point on the x-axis on which it is intersecting. Is it clear to you? Okay? Then this is for the linear polynomial. Now just we will see the geometrical meaning of a quadratic polynomial. Okay? Quadratic polynomial. Now let's move on to find the geometrical meaning of a quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial general form: p of x equal to ax square plus bx plus c, where a is not equal to 0. Right? Now if you draw the graph of this quadratic polynomial, usually it is not there in our syllabus to draw, but if they give the points and if you plot it, now the graph, or you can say this, the shape of it may be like this: u upward curve, or the downward curve like this. Okay, upward curve, upwards, or sometimes like this, downwards. This shape, these two shapes are known as parabola shapes. Right? This upward curve and this downward curve depends upon the coefficient of x square. Sometimes the graph may look upward like this, u opened upward, or this downward u. Those curves are called as they are parabolas. Right? This, why sometimes it will be upward like this and why sometimes it will be downward, it depends upon the coefficient of x square. Coefficient of x square is which one here? In the standard form it is a. If a is greater than 0, the graph will be this way, and if a is less than 0, then the graph will be downward. That means quadratic polynomial. So the shape of this graph will be either upward curve or downward curve depending upon the coefficient of x square. So for any given equation, I will suppose that the quadratic, for a given quadratic polynomial, the graph is like this. Now if you carefully observe it, it is intersecting the x-axis at how many points? At 2 points. So it given quadratic polynomial has two solutions. Sometimes there may be variety of cases in this. The one of this I have shown here. Sometimes the graph may be downward. You locate these points here also, but here in these two cases, the point, the x-axis is being intersected at 2 points by this curve. Correct? Now, there may be, for some quadratic equations, there may be graphs where it may be like this. It may be like this. Variety, it can be like this. Correct? This is also a form for some quadratic equations. This may be the graph. Now just look at how many points is it intersecting the x-axis. Focus on that. It is intersecting the x-axis exactly at 1 point in these two. In these two cases, it is exactly intersecting at 1 point. Right? In these two cases. 1 point. Right? In these two, it was for 2 points. Now sometimes for some quadratic polynomials, the graph may not the curve may not intersect the x-axis at all. This possibility is also there, right? Then it is not at all. There is no point of intersection to the x-axis, 0 there. Then what can we conclude? We can just looking at the graph, we can say that, see, looking at the graph, you can tell how many solutions does the given quadratic polynomial has. If suppose if the graph is intersecting, the curve is intersecting the x-axis at 2 points, then we will say that it is having 2 solutions. In this case, it is only intersecting at 1 point, so there is only 1 solution. Here, it is not at all intersecting the x-axis, then it is not at all having any solution. So, a quadratic polynomial at the most can have 2 zeros. So, what is the geometrical meaning of this quadratic polynomial? The same way, geometrical meaning of the quadratic polynomial means the zeros of the quadratic polynomial are what? The zeros of the quadratic polynomial are x coordinates of the points. The zeros of the quadratic polynomial are x coordinates of the point. I will write it here. Geometrical meaning of quadratic, geometrical meaning of zeros of quadratic polynomial. Is the zeros of quadratic polynomial are x coordinates of the points where the graph y equal to ax square plus bx plus c intersects the x-axis. I'll just repeat it. I think it may not be that much clear to you. See, this is what I have written. The zeros of the quadratic polynomial are x coordinates of the points where the graph y equal to ax square plus bx plus c intersects the x-axis. That means those points which are intersected, those points on the x-axis which are intersected by the curves are the zeros of that particular given quadratic polynomial. That is the meaning. Those points which are on the x-axis that are intersected by what? Those points which are intersected by the curve. That too, those points which are on the x-axis. Okay. Then, by looking at that, by looking at the graph, we will be able to tell how many zeros does a particular quadratic polynomial has. see, I have shown you some cases where the polynomial graph may look like this. In this case, we will say that there are two zeros. In these two cases, we will say it is having only one zero. If you take these two cases, it is not having zeros at all. Okay. Then, these, looking at the graph, we said that how many zeros are there. Now, if this graph is scaled and we are drawing it, now even you can tell at what point, the point at which it is intersecting, that is the zero of the polynomial. Suppose I will say this is 0, this is -1, this side this is -2, like this if you are plotting, then I can say -1 and -2 are the zeros of that particular given quadratic polynomial. Okay, looking at the graph, two things we can say. One is how many zeros are there for the given quadratic polynomial, and second thing is which are those zeros. If they have scaled the graph and we have drawn it, then we can say which are those two zeros. Okay, this is the geometrical meaning of a quadratic polynomial. Now if you consider a cubic polynomial, say p of x is equal to ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. Now if they draw the graph of it, graph of this cubic polynomial, it may be like this, the graph, the nature of that. So how many zeros are there? There are 3 zeros for it, right? Like this. What is the geometrical meaning of this cubic polynomial? It is the zeros of this polynomial are the points on the x-axis with which the graph has intersected it. Clear? Okay. So write down what it will be, the zeros of cubic polynomial are the x coordinates of the points where the graph y equal to ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d intersects the x-axis. Okay, this is the geometrical meaning of a cubic polynomial. In general, what we can say, if there is a polynomial of degree n, then that polynomial can at the most have n zeros. That is, maximum it can have n zeros. Like for example, if you are taking a linear polynomial, then the maximum possible solutions for it is 1. If you are taking quadratic polynomial, since the degree of it is 2, then its maximum zeros also will be 2 at the most. That is, maximum zeros will be 2. Minimum, sometimes it may not have zeros also. Similarly, for the cubic polynomial, since the degree is 2, at the most it can have 3 zeros. So we can generalize it that if we have a polynomial of degree n, then we can have at the most n zeros. Clear? Okay. Then moving on to the next one. Exercise 2.1. Just look at that exercise 2.1, a very small exercise where they have given you the graphs and asked you to find out the number of zeros. Look at that. The graphs of y equal to p of x are given in figure 2.10 below for some polynomials p of x. Find the number of zeros of each case. First one, what they have given, this is the graph what they have given to you. How many zeros are there? This is x, x dash, y, y dash. How many zeros are there for this? This line is a linear graph. Now you have this, so this is not at all having any point of intersection on the x-axis, since even though it is a straight line here, it is parallel to the x-axis. So how many zeros does this line have? It is having no zeros. Then see the second one. Second one, it is like this. So you just see the point of intersection on the x-axis 1 it is, so it is having 1 0. Correct. Similarly, see the next one, point of intersection on the x-axis. You see how many points is it intersecting? The graph is intersecting the x-axis. It is, if you look at like this, so 1, 2 and 3. So it is having 3 zeros. See the fourth one. How many? 2 zeros. So this is having 3. This is having 2 zeros. Yes. Then next, fifth one. Fifth one. Okay. Fifth one, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. It is having 4 zeros. So see the last one. Last one. Right? This way. Right? 1, 2. It's 2. Yes. 2 zeros. It is having 2 zeros. So just looking at the graph, we will be able to say, given for the particular polynomial, how many zeros exist. Now for this one, it is a linear graph. Still, it is not touching the x-axis, so it is not having any solution. That means it is parallel to the x-axis, like that. So this completes the exercise 2.1. We will just move on to the next topic, that is relationship between zeros and coefficients of a polynomial. Now let's see the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients of a quadratic polynomial. Okay, relationship between zeros and coefficients of a quadratic polynomial. So since we have said it is quadratic polynomial, we will consider a quadratic polynomial. Let ax square plus bx plus c, p of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, where a is not equal to 0. Since it is a quadratic polynomial, maximum it will have 2 zeros. So alpha and beta are the zeros of p of x. Okay, which implies p of, they are the zeros. That means p of alpha is equal to 0 and p of beta is equal to 0. Therefore, by factor theorem, if you remember factor theorem which you have learned in class 9, x minus alpha and x minus beta are the factors of p of x. Right? Therefore, this ax square plus bx plus c equal to, we can write it as k times the factors k times of x minus alpha into x minus beta, where k is an integer. Okay, k is a constant, or it can be an integer, or you can say k is constant. Okay, k is constant. That k value you can put it. Now simplify this side. K into multiplying this, what will get? X square minus beta into x minus alpha into x plus alpha beta, right? Which is k into x square. We will take out minus x common, so we will get alpha plus beta plus alpha beta. Correct? Okay. Now multiply this with k, entire equation, kx square minus kx into alpha plus beta plus k alpha beta. Correct? Now look at this sign. It is ax square plus bx plus c. Now compare the coefficients of x square, x and the constant on both the sides. Comparing the coefficients of x square, x and constant. What we get? We get what a is equal to k, then b is equal to minus k into alpha plus beta, correct? Then c is equal to k alpha beta, right? Now just look at this this portion. From this portion, what I get? Alpha plus beta. Alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by k, right? Fine. Minus b by, what is k? K is equal to a, right? Okay. Now take up this one, c is equal to k alpha beta. In that, from that what we get? Alpha into beta is equal to c by k, right? So what is that? C by, what is that? K. K is equal to a. Now look carefully. Alpha plus beta. What is this alpha and beta? These alpha and betas are the zeros of the polynomial. Alpha plus beta. That means the sum of the zeros. Correct? Sum of zeros. And alpha into beta. Into. So it is product of zeros. Right? So sum of the zeros is equal to what? Minus b by a. Look at the standard form of a quadratic polynomial. Ax square plus bx plus c. What is this b? B is nothing but the coefficient of x. That is equal to minus coefficient of x divided by a. What is a? A is coefficient of x square. Coefficient of x square. Now just look at this, alpha into beta. Product of the zeros is c by a. C by a. What is c in this standard form? This is constant. Constant. And what is a? It is again the coefficient of x square. Coefficient of x square. Look at carefully, you just see. This is the relation. Alpha and beta are the zeros. Sum of the zeros is equal to minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. Okay, what we have told? It is relationship between zeros and the coefficients of the quadratic polynomial. What are the zeros? Alpha and beta. So alpha plus beta equal to minus b by a, which is nothing but minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. And in product of the zeros, alpha into beta is equal to c by a, which is constant divided by coefficient of x square. Okay, then this is the relation, okay, between the zeros and the coefficients of the quadratic polynomial. You should be learning it carefully and you should remember it also. Alpha plus beta, that is sum of the zeros is equal to minus b by a, product of the zeros is equal to c by a. Now in this there will be two types of questions they may be asking. Given you the product of the product and the sum, they will ask you to form a quadratic equation, or they will give you alpha and beta and ask you to find the quadratic polynomial. Okay, now just look at this, concentrate on this. See, ax square plus bx plus c, this can be written. If they have given you product and the sum of the zeros, then you can write directly like this. It is k x square minus k into x into alpha plus beta plus alpha beta, or even if you can go with this directly. If they have given you the sum of the zeros and the product of the zeros, you can directly substitute in this, where k can be any constant, you can multiply it with any number, and then you can get infinitely many quadratic polynomials where whose sum is alpha plus beta and product alpha into beta. Okay, so that's all in today's video. Thank you.